Hello. Well, I'm going to show you how to build that structure for the Wigwam in Revit. You have done it in Rhino, so we will do that in Revit now. I don't know the geometry, the exact geometry, so I'm going to use just random curves, but then you have to work with the right measurements. The first thing we have to do is to set the work plane. That's the geometry. So I'm going to create these reference planes. And I'm going to create 3 reference planes, and I'm going to name them. That's reference plane number 1. Then copy. I'm going to copy 10 inches away, but it depends on the geometry of the. So that will be number 2, and this is number 3. So now I need the geometry that generates the envelope. I don't know if it's a sphere or it's a, I don't know. But okay, let's, as a reference, I will create this model line. Okay, and I'm going to create a circle. And that circle is, let's say, 15 feet radius. And then on the 3D view, I have this on the 3D view. I don't see the reference planes, but they are there. So I'm going to create the curve here on the reference plane number 2, but on the 3D view. So on the 3D view, we can type a model line. We can placement plane. It will be here, reference plane number 2. And then I'm going to do this. No, before doing that, I'm going to use massing and site. Okay, so these are the reference lines, and I'm going to create the actual elements. I'm going to use massing and site in place mass. So in place mass, I have to set the work plane on this reference plane number 2. And now I can create a line. Okay, so now the reference plane number 2 is there, but I can create a line, let's say 10. And now I want to create another shape. If it's a circle, then we have the center of the circle, and then we have the first point, and then the second point is there. It's important that these 2 lines are not connected, okay? Because now I have to select this and this. I create form, a solid form, and there you go. We have a dome. Without finishing the mass, I'm going to, or actually, I think I can finish the mass, okay? And then I can always edit in place. So I'm going to edit this mass, okay? And I'm going to work on level 1. So I'm working with this. Max am I working with? Okay, working with this one. So now I am going to create a rectangle like this, and I'm going to create a void form. Okay, on the 3D view, I want to subtract the dome. So I want to subtract this rectangle from this dome. And then I click Finish Mass, and there we go. Okay, so you see that we have this mass now. The problem is that I can't select the curve. Okay, so, and I need this curve because I need an element to sweep this, because I want a circle here, and then I want this this curve there. How can I do it? I can go to massing inside, in place mass. Okay, now the work plane is reference plane 3. Remember, or is it? No, I mean reference plane 1. Okay, sorry. So this is a reference plane 1. And then on reference plane 1, I'm going to select this point element. Okay, so if I select this point element, let's draw on work plane, because the working plane is the reference plane 1. So I'm going to add different lines. It doesn't matter how many we add. Something like this. And now I can select all these points. I can mirror. So this midpoint, and I have the same number of points there. And now I can draw a spline through points. That's what I'm going to do now. So I'm on these points, and I am drawing a spline, a curve that is matching the curve that I have created there. Now I finish mass, and I do have a line there, see? Now I can select this line. I select the mass, but what I want now is to select this line. Okay, so now that's the line that I'm going to select, and I want to sweep a circle along this line. So to do that, I want to go to architecture, component, model in place, and here I have to select a category. If this is something structural, I'm going to select structural framing, okay? And this sweep, it's a 3D shape by sweeping a 2D profile along a path. So, okay, so that's what we want to do. So I select sweep. First thing, I have to select the path. So I select this line. And you see that by selecting this line, I have this plane here. It's perpendicular to that line. And then I click OK. I have to select the profile. I can select it, or I can draw a profile. If I had the circle here, I would select it, but I have to draw it. So I'm going to edit the profile. This is the circle. So now on this point, if I want a 2-inch circle, that's it. If I click OK and OK, there you go, and finish model, that's it. So now, what if you want another circle, a ring there? Then we can go to the east elevation. Wireframe. So here we have this, and well, I have another reference plane here. So you can go to architecture reference plane. I had an existing reference plane here. I named it circle, and then I can place it. If you place it here, that's good, but I think we have to place it somewhere above this. Okay, so if that's here, we can move it like 2 inches. From that one, you cannot use a level. Okay, so maybe it would be easier, but anyway, if we move the level here, so that's 11 to. So now if I move it again, it has to be 2 inches. So here I can type 2 inches. This is more accurate. And then, okay, I'm going to move that reference plane here. Okay, so that reference plane is 2 inches away. Actually, 2 inches is this radius. So I want to move it 2 inches more. So I select this, move, and I move it 2 inches. Same thing with the reference plane. So now on the 3D view, if I select the top view, now I can work with a model line. Now it's the reference plane circle. And then I have to create another circle. Have this center of the circle. The radius of the circle is this point. And if I rotate this, we know with this where this ring is. Okay. And now I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go to component, model in place, structural framing. I have to sweep. I have to pick the path first. That's the path. I have to click OK, edit profile. Now circle, I go to this point, 2 inch circle, click OK, OK, and now I have that ring above it. Okay, so I separated that because in the reality, I don't know if this is here or it's inside, but I cannot merge these two circles. So there should be a different level for this one and for that one. Okay, so now, well, I don't know the geometry that generates that. If there's another reference plane here, then we have to repeat the process. But if it's something symmetrical, I can always mirror. I can select this axis, and now I have another one there. Or if you want to rotate and we click copy, we place the center of rotation and it will be here. There you go. So I don't know exactly how this is, but that would be the structure of this Wigwam. If we want this to match, it's a question of selecting the right reference plane, okay? So if we want if we want all of them to be the same, probably I should have done this from the beginning, selecting the right reference planes to make sure that we have a grid here with the same dimensions, and then create the circle accordingly. Anyway, try this in Revit, and then we will try to figure out how to do it. The good thing is that once we have the structure and we have this mass, we can create another mass. Probably we need another mass outside the that structural element. Okay, you know what I mean? So now the mass is here in the middle of that. So if it's real, probably I would need another mass with a circle that is here. Okay, so I can create another model line, circle, its center, and the radius is something like this outside that element. Okay. Now on the 3D view, see that we have this one. So on the 3D view, I'm going to delete this mask because it's confusing. I'll do it again, massing inside, in place mass, and set the work plane on number 2. Remember that was I just need a line going up and a curve. If this is the center, then that's the radius, this one. And then I can go up to this point. Now select this and this, create a solid form. There you go. I did something wrong. Okay, let's do it again. Massing inside, in place mass. Okay. Set the work plane on reference plane number 2. First line here. It's the 10. Second line, it's a curve with the center. The radius here. Go up. Go. Select 1 and 2. Create solid form. Okay, I think I graded out. Okay, there you go. So that mass, it's outside, or we can even extend it. I think that would be better. The thing is that if I have this mass now, and if I go to, is this a wall or a roof? No, let's say that I'm going to create a new wall, okay, architectural wall, and I edit type, I duplicate, and this is the Wigwam. Edit, and now I can select here something very thin, like 1/8 of an inch. This is finish, and category. I can explain that later because here we have physical and thermal properties, so we can design basically the material that we want. Okay, so it's a fabric. I don't think we have any fabric here. We have a carpet, okay. But we can change that, okay? And then if I design this basic Wigwam wall, now I can assign this shape with a material, but I don't know if it's a wall or it's a roof. Let's find out. So if I go to massing and site and I select wall by face, can I select this? Yes, I can. Okay, so I can select this, and it has an actual material there. So with that material, I can test some thermal properties. We see this weird texture, okay, because we have the mass and the carpet together. So that's why we have this. So if we filter and we select only the mass, and we right click and hide in view this element, then the mask is not there anymore, and I only have this carpet. Okay. Well, try to build this with the right geometry. And well, I think now this ring is outdoors or outside the carpet. I think it should be inside. So probably we have to create a mass with the right geometry. Anyway, if you have any issues, let me know.